Welcome back to another week of I Just Burnt It. This week we're going to try something new. Instead of baking, I'm actually going to cook something. I figured all of those recipes that come through Facebook, I'm going to try one. I'm going to try this week pork carnitas. And I probably said it so wrong, and I apologize to anybody out there. It's a Mexican slow pulled pork. Coming from New York, pulled pork sandwiches, had them all the time. Wanted to find something else to do with this pork butt. I also realized I had a pork shoulder instead of pork butt, but as long as it's a fatty pork, it will work. All right, so I'm gonna cut this open, and it says we have to trim the fat off this. It's supposed to be boneless, so we're also gonna have to trim around the bone.
So let me get this straight. They told you to get what?
They told you to get a boneless pork butt.
But you got
a pork shoulder with a bone. So everyone out there that makes this, you don't have to make fun. I know I'm doing it wrong. I got it. But as we always do, is we make the best of what we got and we see if it works. Because sometimes you don't always have things available to you that a recipe calls for. Right? All right, so we got skin off and whatever that other stuff was. We have an issue with the bone, so I can't just like cut this. It wants like 2-inch cubes. And I don't have good knives. As you can tell, this is a bread knife. So we're gonna cut. It really cuts well. And so do these scissors though. So we definitely don't want little, like 2-inch by 2-inch. Oh, my living Lord. We have our first piece, like that big. And we're putting them all in the Dutch oven. Bam. That was a lot of work. Get a boneless one and get a good knife. Here's our bone. All right. I'm gonna throw this away. All right, I have to preheat the oven at 300, and I put the rack down low because we're using the Dutch oven. All right, I normally would not do this. I normally would clean this, but because it's going in with it, and it's all going in, it's just gonna go. All right, so it needs a whole onion, and this was a really big, a big onion. I only used a little of it. And they want you to peel it and cut it in half and put it in. So there's no chopping or anything. We're just gonna, that just seems a lot.
Go for it. Do it. No. Yes. That bread knife is very...
It's very versatile. This is the best knife I own, but it is definitely not one. It's the bread. Okay, you take an orange. You're supposed to squeeze the juice. We're gonna squeeze the juice, and then it says put them in there. I could be doing this totally wrong, and I apologize to anybody. Okay, 2 tablespoons of lime juice. 2. Extra. Okay. Need a teaspoon of cumin. I'm actually using measuring things just because this, I have no clue about this recipe and I'm not messing up with it. It's not like I've ever had it before. I don't even know what it's supposed to taste like. Okay. 1 teaspoon of oregano. Okay, and then we need some bay leaves, which I actually had. We need 2 of them. Throw those in for good. There's 2. Salt and pepper. actually going to measure the salt and pepper. I think I put too much salt. No, it said 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay. Because I don't want to under-season this. If this is what I think it is, it's very good. I think Dad called. I can't open it. Called it Mojo pork or Mojo pork. It was like 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. All right, I've made a huge mess here. I put the cumin, I put everything in, right? Okay, 2 cups of water. 2 cups of water. I am double checking my recipe because it says to make sure I have everything. Boneless pork butt, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 3.5 teaspoons of pepper, teaspoon of cumin, onion, 2 bay leaves, dried onions, lemon juice, 2 cups of water, and a medium orange. All right, so we're gonna put some water in this, and then we have to bring this to a simmer uncovered. While that's simmering, I'm gonna clean up my mess, wash my hands, and we'll see what we have to do next. Okay, so it's starting to simmer. If you can see, you don't want a full boil, at least in my mind, that's what a simmer is. It's just starting to bubble along the side. So what we need to do is it says to put the cover on, and we're gonna put it right in the oven. And we're gonna put it in here for 2 hours. So, turn that off, timer, 2 hours. So it's on for 2 hours, and we'll see when we get back. All right, it's been 2 hours, so we're gonna take this out. Watch out, Vic. All right, here we go. Now they said the pork should come apart. Yes, I don't want to pull it apart too much. So it said to discard. Use a slotted spoon. Discard all of like the big orange and the onions. This is why you had it together. So I'm using like a slotted spoon. Okay. The meat we're gonna put on this tray. And it said to cut it up into smaller pieces, but I'm gonna get everything out first and keep the juice. I am cutting the beef, or pork, this is pork, sorry. But you don't wanna cut it small. So we reduced the liquid for like 25 to 30 minutes. It kinda looks like this. I just turned the heat off, but it's still obviously boiling. I cut the chicken into pieces. Or chicken, it's not chicken, it's pork. What is wrong with me? Anyway, it kind of went through the foil because I used a knife. It said just to use forks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna nicely, this is like hot, I think it's just because it's near it.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna put this in here. I said to put the pork back in the pot, and you're gonna fold it in gently. So you're just gonna kind of fold it in, get everything covered. So now we have to take this, pour it back on this, and we put the oven on broil. Spread it out. And on 5 minutes, and then we're going to, I guess, kind of like flip it, and then do 5 more minutes. All right, ready? It said don't have to raise the rack. So it's been on broil, so we're gonna put the timer at 5 minutes. We'll flip it over with a spatula or something that's not gonna break the foil, and then we'll do it again. I did 7 minutes of broil. I kind of mixed it up, and then 7 minutes of broil again. So they did say, you can serve this like in a flour tortilla. Jamie's actually making rice. We thought that would be a good size. So she just made some rice, and we can put on top. There's not a lot of sauce, but you can make it kind of like a taco. I really don't want, I know there's probably people that eat this like all the time. So if you have any suggestions and want to write in the comments, like what to eat as a side dish, that'd be great. Or what I did wrong or how I did, that'd be great. Let's enjoy it. Ready? It's very hot. That's very good. That's awesome. Very good. All right, I can't wait to have this with my dinner. See you next week. Bam.